Turn it up, clocking out, driving home, or just turning on. We got the remedy for the daily grind, Monday through Friday. 3:30 to 5:30 EST. Get ready for the shift. It's the Taz effect. It's the Taz effect. Changing up your view, bringing news, history, and commentary to you. 2 hours of power, 5 days a week. It's the real talk and the truth that you see. Yeah.
Tune your dial, clear your head. Listen up to what's being said.
Yeah. Kick it off on Mutual Aid Monday. We're giving back. Helping the community, you're staying on track. And Tuesday rolls around and the studio gets blessed. It's Talk About It Tuesday with the smoking hot mess.
From the middle of the week, we're leveling up your brain. Prison Wednesday is here to break the mundane.
Surprising guests who enhance the whole world. Watch the knowledge and the stories get unfurled. It's the Taz effect, changing up your view, bringing news, history, and commentary to you. 2 hours of power, 5 days a week. It's the real talk and the truth that you see. Now Thursday hits and the lines open wide. No placeholders here, nowhere to hide. Think about it Thursday, yeah, the mic is all yours. Call in, chat live, let's open up the door. And just like that, the weekend's inside. We're wrapping up the weekend, we're doing it right. Fun News Friday is the ultimate news party. Coasting you into the weekend, feeling good and hearty. 3:30 to 5:30, making your daily check. Lock it in, turn it up. You just
Hey. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect, daily news in a way you did not know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves at GCPR.live or through our Android or iOS apps, thank you for tuning in. For those watching and listening from all around the social media sphere, hey, how you doing? So glad you could come through. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's jump right on in there. We got a lot of news, and some good, some bad, some funny, some not. I don't know. Okay, it is a hodgepodge. Hey, Inferno is popping. It is, yeah. And I have something for y'all to think about. Because, of course, I've been walking after midnight out in the social media streets. So yeah, there's a hot topic going on, and too many people are putting themselves in the middle of the conversation. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all getting scammed because of that. But hey, DJ, hey, Mrs. Lyles. But we're gonna start with this. Y'all remember, okay, that infamous Olympics with the break dancing? Okay. Remember how Australia was having a one-sided beef with the US of A, talking all sorts of cold hard smack about us, okay? And then during the breakdancing event, we got great moves like the spin around hip move, the kangaroo hop. Y'all remember Ray gun with no ammunition? Baby, she's the story that will not end. She is the story that will never end. She will go on and on, my friend. If you needed a bigger example of white privilege, look no further. Okay? If you needed a bigger example of white people choosing whiteness regardless of where they live, baby, look no further. And before you get tired, you always say that, and I can back it up. Stop, look, and listen. Here comes the mighty BS.
Olympic breakdancer Ray Gunn is breaking her silence in a new documentary on her infamous performance at Paris 2024 and the attention it sparked around the world. Rachel Gunn was Australia's inaugural Olympic breaker, incorporating kangaroo hops into her routine, but failed to register a single point with the judges. She's now sharing her side of the infamy in a Netflix special.
Some of the memes were funny, then the tone started to change. So Rachel Gunn cheated her way into the Olympics and then had her husband be a judge.
What?
Boom, 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 cow. And it just kept getting more crazy.
What's going on?
I can't just be a meme. Am I Rachel or Ray Gunn?
Untold Ray Gunn Breaking Badly is streaming from the 1st of September. Olympic break.
I feel another tastic viewing party coming on. I feel like we should all convene again on Zoom, because if I try to do this on any streaming platform, they'll ting-a-ting, ting, ding, ding, ding me. But I think if we all get together on Zoom, because we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. Remember, we can get on our jammies before, we can convene a little bit before it starts. We can make our little snacks or order snacks. I don't judge how you get the snacks to the house, okay? And we can sit down, we can watch it, and we can let our jokes fly in a safe environment. Because let's not forget, this is the same woman who did not want this story told when there was a satirical one-woman show that was supposed to be touring, and she sued to shut it down. I told y'all this whole thing was an elaborate money grab, and people were like, no, Taz, no, it's not. Who would do all of that to get to the Olympics? It costs so much to get to the Olympics. It costs so much in the United States to get to the Olympics. I need y'all to realize there are other countries that pay for their Olympic athletes. If you show that you're on that level, they will pay to sustain your life. I told y'all this was a long-standing money grab, because if you make headlines at the Olympics, you essentially you have a blank check. You have a blank check. I want y'all to think about Nancy Kerrigan. I know there's a part, you have a soft spot in your heart for Nancy Kerrigan. But truth be told, she wasn't that great of an ice skater. Yes, she made it to the Olympic level. And I'm talking about in comparison to other Olympic level ice skaters. I'm not talking about me going out there. No, I'm not saying I can go out there and do Nancy Kerrigan stuff. Absolutely not. Just like when I'm comparing NBA players, I know I'm not on that level. I'm talking about the level that they're on. Okay. Hey, J. Tom, say Heidi. Nancy Kerrigan wasn't all that. We wanted her to win because of what happened to her. But once again, there are people who they gonna make it do what it do, baby. But Tanya Harding made a name for herself, and Tanya Harding parlayed it into a multitude of things. And she kept herself paid. But yeah, absolutely. But child, that ain't the only thing. I know I have been calling for warrants against certain people from this current regime. And yes, I'm going to continue to call it a regime until it no longer exists. Okay. Now, yesterday we talked about Caroline Leavitt making her exit, okay, after she sucked and clucked and nucked if you buck in the geriatric center to get herself to where she went to in the sphere of Donald Trump. But baby, we do have a warrant, okay? Not the type of warrant you're thinking, and not for who you would expect, but we got a warrant, okay? We have a warrant for Kennedy. Words you probably didn't think you'd hear, especially you probably didn't think you'd hear it from me. And yes, from that family, from that Kennedy family, we have a warrant. Whoop, whoop. It's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But hold on. If you have not realized, the news here lately has been like, if you took a telenovela, you dipped it in Nutella, you put it in unpasteurized milk in the blender. You don't put a lid on the blender and you hit go. Yes, that's what we're getting. Okay? Russia issues arrest warrant for RFK Jr.'s son, Connor Kennedy. Let that sink in. And if you think this is the strangest news story of today, no. Only one person knows the strangest news story for today. We gonna get to that. We're gonna slow cut to that. Yeah. This ain't the strangest. I promise you, everything today I have quadruple checked. Vladimir Putin is gunning for the son of one of Donnie Doofendump's cabinet members. Moscow's Basmany District Court has issued a warrant for the arrest of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s son, Connor Kennedy, accusing him of acting as a mercenary for Ukraine. Remember when it got leaked? Legacy Media said it was leaked. I said it wasn't a leak. BB from Philly said that with his full chest, and he said it so we could hear. Remember when BB was like, yeah, I told Trump what to do when it came to Iran, and he listened to me, and I'll do it again. What you gonna do about it? And I said, this is a slippery slope. There's some other world leaders that Trump, had been sucking up to and was acting like they was just ace boon coon. They was in there. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna get a little jealous, especially since Trump, really ain't been keeping his word with some certain promises, allegedly, that he made to folks. And Pootie Poop Poop was like, hold up. You out here letting BB from Philly just tell you what to do? I've been trying to tell you what to do for a while. You had me trapped in that funky ass monster mobile. Okay? They hadn't changed your diaper in 11 days. And you out here, you letting BB tell you what to do? And then on top of that, you got the backbiter out here lightweight talking smack about me. Okay, see, the last time I let a dossier slip, that didn't quite work because you was just like, Russia, the Democrats did. No, I want people to know I'm at that neck. Okay, so I'm gonna get both of y'all at the same time. Y'all want to keep playing with me? Y'all want to keep playing with me? One, two, three. Go catch him. Yeah, Connor, baby boy, Connor. The Kennedy name, cash money in certain parts of the United States, certain parts, okay? It ain't the 50s no more. Camelot, long shut down, okay? They boarded up Camelot, okay? They sold off parts of Camelot. Parts of Camelot also got repossessed, okay? Jackie dead, Jack dead, baby Jack Jr. dead. They don't care, okay? Some of the other people, that you don't have that capital, and your father, the little bit of stocks that he could have cashed in, can't do it no more. Can't do it no more. Okay. So you might and talk to Brittany Griner. You don't want nan part of it. Actually, don't talk to Brittany because she was black and they let her live and get out. There was another white person, okay, a white man that Vladimir was like, you know what? I don't like him. Lock him up. They locked him up and they kept like feeding him like nuclear waste, like toxic stuff till he finally died. That I never went through that. And I prayed that I don't, but it looked okay when I was covering the story. It looked really painful. Connor, I don't want that for you. I'm just saying. So a correspondent for Russian news agency also reported that Connor, 32, was placed on the international wanted list. Russia can place somebody expeditiously on the international wanted list, but can't nobody put nobody from this regime on the international wanted list. Hold up, wait, what y'all need? You want some brownies? We can make you some special brownies. You want the brownie from a brownie? Some of y'all will get that, some of y'all won't. We around here at GCPR, what kind of brownie? We can get you some very special brownies. We got you. Like what like you prefer a little shine under the moon? Like what you need? Like we got a list of people that should be on the international list. I feel like resources could be better used for, a few other people, just a few, it maybe I don't know. It might be like, I don't, Connor, an ex-boyfriend of dun 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 Taylor Swift. And before you go, stop thinking with that girl. I'm not picking with her. Okay. She's been in the news multiple times because I told you the trad wife aesthetic, hey, Nana J, is going away and something else is coming in. They put it in here. Okay. The Daily Beast pointed this out. And just so you know, he's not attractive. Because I know y'all going to ask. Because some of y'all, little horn dogs, you know. Okay. He looks about how it sounds. Okay. Remember, he came out of RFK Jr.'s nutsack. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about how a shaky sperm would look fully grown. I'm not going to say fully developed because it's RFK Jr. Connor, an ex-boyfriend of Taylor Swift, would face 7 to 10 years in prison for the charge if he were to be hauled before the court on Russian territory. But it's largely toothless since he was charged in absentia. That don't mean nothing. Do you know how many people that they done charged over in Russia in absentia that magically appear in a Russian prison? Girl, that it doesn't matter because it's in absentia. That works in the movies, okay? That don't work with Putin. Allegedly, people been sleeping comfortably in beds in countries that are not Russia, okay? That's where they go to sleep at. They wake up freezing in a prison compound in Russia. How they get there, I don't know. And again, Russia is the one place that's not good for white people, especially white people from America. Oh yeah, like they seem to like, I don't know, do they like get extra rations when they pick up white men from the U.S. and put them over in the Russian prison? Because they like to do that. Like they do. They be like, "Oh, you black? Are you black and famous? Are you not? You related to anybody famous? No." Okay, move out the way. I don't care what you got in your pocket. Move. Who murder? Who'd you murder over here? Oh, we were gonna murder him anyway. Go on. You, the white man to keep coming over here. You like it over here because you don't really see too many darkies. Okay, you about to be the darkie. Come here. Like, don't be white doing the craziness over in the former USSR. Okay. Don't do that because they treat y'all like y'all treat us nickels over here. Okay, not the shake it first. DJ, you know it's true. Like, over in Russia, white men, y'all the nickels. They don't trust. I mean, they shouldn't trust y'all. Reasons, but you know. So it's unclear why the court handed down such an order now, nearly 4 years after the health secretary's son spoke publicly of fighting alongside Ukrainian forces in the early months of Russia's full-scale invasion. Y'all don't know why they talking about it now. Again, do I need to remind y'all that Trump and this regime is playing the game? Y'all don't let BB come out and say that he in control. People globally, see, I need y'all to stop acting as if only those of us in the United States can see the United States and United States news. Y'all out here with all these talking points. It's and Putin is like, you don't see me, you don't see me, you don't see me. Because a lot of y'all keep saying that. Y'all know who paying y'all bills. Pooty poot poot. And he not playing with y'all. He shared on Instagram in October 2022 that he had volunteered to fight because he was deeply moved by what he saw there and was willing to die there. Well, y'all want to keep cosplaying stuff? Well, I will say this. Hey, Patriots. Hey, come to the front. The formerly of the don't tread on me, but tread on over me, Daddy. Give it to me. They can't see us from Georgia. Exactly. At least he's willing to go out and fight. Y'all out here under fake profiles, stealing other people's pictures, calling people future slaves, Baby, let me explain something to you. It's 2026. See, y'all kind of got that off for a period of time because you stole us and brought us over here without weaponry. And you kept the weaponry away from us. You also didn't have the technology that we now have helped develop. You don't stand a chance. Don't. Mm-mm. So he also said, I told one person here where I was, and I told one person there my real name. I didn't want my family or friends to worry. I didn't want to be treated differently here. Baby, I'm sorry. Now, every member of the Kennedy family is not like this, okay? But now I didn't tell anybody here my name. I didn't want special treatment. Baby, you're in Ukraine. They don't know you. They don't care. They want assistance getting out of there. They don't. I didn't tell anybody where I was going. Way to show that your arm or leg of the Kennedy family, y'all don't keep up with one another. Because I'd be damned if I disappear, if I don't talk to certain people for a period of time, baby, they're sending up the task signal. Okay, it's going up in the middle. So yeah, absolutely not. Howard, what do you mean? What are you trying to spell out? Because if you're trying to spell out what I think you are, that yeah, but I don't want to assume. What are you trying to spell out, Howard? I'm sorry, Harold. Quite peculiar. You just started a YouTube account yesterday and you found me today, Harold? Interesting. Now, still not the story that I want to report on Doof and Dump, but Trump lawyers seek immediate halt to judge's gag order that wrongly silences the sitting president without any proof of collusion. Attorneys for Doof and Dump have asked a federal appeals court to immediately step in and halt a judge's scathing sanctions order after the judge declined to issue a stay. The appeal arises from the district court's extraordinary abuse of its sanctions power. Doof and Dump's brief said Wednesday, repeating that a stay would harm no one in the interim. U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams last week said there was no good cause to halt a ruling that referred Doof and Dump attorney Alejandro Brito to the Florida bar and granted monetary reimbursement for amici curiae or friends of the court she allowed to enter the IRS lawsuit. As Law and Crime has reported, this brief included 35 former federal judges as well as ex-IRS and Treasury officials who advanced arguments that the Trump DOJ did not make before Trump, the individual, moved to voluntarily dismiss the action. The judge saw the sudden dismissal as a way for Trump to manipulate the judicial process and improperly force the IRS into a $1.776 billion settlement with no viable basis in law or fact, while opening the door for Trump supporters to seek payouts from a so-called anti-weaponization fund. Let me again remind you all. Let me remind you all. The fund already existed. Okay? They're trying to take a portion of the fund, rename it, and reallocate it. Are we clear? I know a lot of people try to make this seem like it's some sensational thing and he's just pulling $1.776 billion out of thin air. No. Okay. Again, United States still insolvent. We don't have McDonald's money and we don't have McDonald's at home. With me? You with me? Again. The judge responded in mid-July by issuing serious sanctions. She also barred reference to the settlement she deemed non-adversarial and collusive. According to Duvendump's lawyers, Williams made those findings without proof of collusion and bad faith, all while slapping a sweeping, unconstitutional, and unlawful gag order on the president himself. Now, this right here, I wanted to bring up because remember yesterday, hey Tiny, yesterday, okay, after freshly getting sworn in, finally, as the official AG, although we know he's been acting in AG capacity since the beginning, Todd, I'm still his personal attorney, Blanche, was like, hey, let's preemptively make sure nobody can look at Trump's messages between anybody, any of his correspondence, this, that, the other. Essentially, a gag order. Now Trump is like, no, we don't need a gag order. And it's not because they believe that they're innocent. They want to talk about the case. They want to talk about the case. And hey, not only do they want to talk about the case, they want to talk about the case in order to rile up their base, because they are still under the impression that this base will become violent for the sake of Trump. Keep in mind, there is no successor. There is no member of the GOP that could win a presidential election right now, number one. And number two, that the GOP as a whole, let alone MAGA, is going to ride for the way that they do Trump. So yeah, they can't talk about it. There is no state, like, no. No. You were wrong. We're going to put you in timeout. Now, y'all remember Bernie Moreno, you know, the idiot politician out of Ohio, the liar, the uber liar, who had the daughter who was in a very abusive marriage. And then her husband, also politician, okay? And he decided to protect his reputation and defend himself, that he was going to do a document drop. Now, when going through litigation, is it a smart idea to do document drops? No. You need to take these things into a court of law. Let the court of law handle it. Stop talking publicly about it. Well, in the document drop that he decided to put on Twitter, yes, I know what his adoptive stepdaddy calls it. We call it Twitter because that's what his bio daddy named it. Okay. If they don't respect preferred names, we don't respect theirs. And that goes for applications, not for people. Okay. Hey, Susan. And in all of these things that he dropped was a nude picture of his very, very juvenile daughter. He tried to talk around it and claim all these things. We have to speak? All right. Representative Max Miller sued by ex-wife for publishing explicit photo of daughter. The ex-wife of embattled Representative Max Miller, Republican out of Ohio, sued him and his attorney. Remember, the attorney was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know it was in there. I'm so sorry. That should never happen. Max decided to go, put his whole face, chest, and voice on screen. Was like, no. This is already under investigation, so it's okay that I put it out there. What? Come here, Max. Come here. I just want to talk to you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Be afraid. I just want to talk. Okay? I want to talk back to face, allegedly. Back to face. Sued him and his attorney on Wednesday over the release of an explicit photo of the couple's 2-year-old daughter, believed to have been seen by hundreds of thousands of people. Court documents allege a nude photo of Miller's young daughter was included in a trove of evidence he gave to his attorney, Aaron Mink, to release to the public via a Dropbox link earlier this month, asserting it would prove his innocence in the face of allegations he abused his ex-wife and daughter. Here is the thing, once again. If you are innocent and you're already going through the court system, let the court system take. We know things can go wrong. We know that Lady Justice is not always blind. Okay. We know sometimes that bitch go out to lunch and don't come back to work for 3 or 4 business months. We know that. But also, as an attorney, one, why would your client have to give you evidence at this point in the game? Number one. Number two, why did you not do your due diligence and go through things before you released it? Because at this point, how much y'all place your bets right now? Place your bets right now. As despicable as Max Miller is, how much you want to bet that after he already said with his whole chest on camera in an interview that it wasn't that bad because the picture and everything surrounding the picture was already being investigated, he's going to be like, well, the attorney, he's the, it's his profession. He's the litigator, not me. I'm a layperson. I thought he was going to go through. He will dump it on that person. Rightfully so. And this is why the attorney was so apologetic. But y'all got to do, you choose your jobs. Do them. I'm not saying you got to strive to be the best of the best, but at least facilitate the status quo of your job. Court documents allege a nude photo of Miller's young daughter was included in a trove of evidence he gave to his attorney, Aaron Mink, to release to the public via a Dropbox link earlier this month, asserting it would prove his innocence in the face of allegations he abused his ex-wife and daughter. Intent on publicly trashing his ex-wife, he disregarded his daughter and recklessly failed to review the folder he shared with her intimate image before sharing it with the world, the lawsuit reads. He just didn't care as long as he could try to convince people that the sheer volume of material in the folder should cause them to doubt the many abuse allegations from the quarters against him. And before you go, well, Taz, why would he do that? Why would he just put out a treasure trove of information? Simple answer, you, the general public. And before you go, what do you mean? The general public. And I mean this, because for far too long, and don't blame it on the internet, because I'm old enough to have been here before the internet, before social media, before all of this, okay? Somebody could come to you and go, Graga, see this stack of paper? This proves that Tyrone wasn't shit and he did X, Y, and Z. See, this right here tells you that he said he was going to love me forever. At no point, truthfully, do people go, hey, let me see that, read that for myself. Well, 10 of these pages are blank. This your child homework from last week. Girl, this your paycheck stuff from 3 years ago. You don't do that. And on social media, how many times have you seen somebody go, well, here's the screenshot of this, and this is what it says. And how many of y'all will look and read it? I will put something behind me. People will read that and not pay attention to what's coming out of my face. But I'm not a gossip creator. I'm not a messy talk creator. I've seen people do that, and I'm sitting there reading it like, that's what they're talking about, because that ain't what that said. It's because of you. People don't read it. People don't pay attention. They just go, oh, it's probably just like, how many of y'all were guilty when folks were like, I told y'all, Jay-Z was in the Epstein file. Yo, his name was in there 10 times. He in the files. I told you he was a creep. Because for a couple of months after the Epstein files started to drop, and I'm talking about before the legislation, last summer when Congress first started and they got a bunch of files from the Epstein estate, from Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother himself. And I had to keep telling people, realize the Epstein files are not investigative files. They are notes. There are things written on napkins. There are pictures. There are photo albums. There's voice notes, voicemails, video, some of everything. Somebody's name can technically be in the files because there were people who were witnesses, who gave testimony, who were talked about. And what happened? Yes, Jay-Z was in the files because somebody was talking about him. But you didn't care. You're like, well, it's more than once. That means he guilty. That means he was in there. And a lot of y'all use confirmation bias to rock with it. If you already don't like somebody, if you already feel that somebody's wasting their life for opportunity and you done already pictured what you would do what you think they got going on in life. What do they say? You will always find what you're looking for. So this is why this man thought, oh, I can give this. Not to mention, far too often, again, depending on who you like and you don't, there's always somebody defending an abuser. So this is why he can say things like, well, if I was whooping her ass, would she have made me dinner? Yes, because she don't want her ass whooped again. And I'm not being funny. It's somebody who's been in that situation. Yeah, if you knock my head between the wall and the Frigidaire, I'm going to make dinner because I don't want you to do it again. If I was abusing her, would she have went to this party with me again? Yes. The only way I can start saying no is when I am away from you, when I don't have to go back to that house with you, when there is no chance that I will be alone with you or around people that will cover for you. Absolutely. But because there's so many people that are like, I wouldn't let that happen to me. What? I heard somebody say that to me once about someone else who was being physically abused. The person who said that was being financially abused. And I'm like, abuse is abuse is abuse. You trying to act like couldn't nobody abuse you, baby girl. You're being abused right now. But things are getting ridiculous, and we are where we are right now because of the general public. I'm going to keep telling you all this until you not only get it in your head, but you start working to change it. You set the narrative. You normalize things. When you start putting narratives out to excuse one person, that gets put on the next person and the next person and the next person. When you start excusing things away, there's an uptick. And because y'all love to blame whatever is new for behavior that's always been around, that every couple of years people try to normalize so more people can get away with it, y'all got to stop. People wasn't cheating like this before social media. Yes, they were. Because how many true blue stories have you heard about folks finding out about somebody's secret family at a funeral? We are still living in a society where there are people that are older than the internet. So miss me with that. People sitting there talking, well, bullying wasn't that bad before social media. What? People were committing suicide because of bullying well before. Bullying led to death. There is a whole nonprofit out here because a young man was bullied literally to death. His bullies beat him to death for being gay. I need y'all to stop. Y'all always find some excuse for the egregiousness in society instead of working to fix it. Everybody's so busy with looking better than somebody else, looking like the moral superior while always giving an excuse so nobody has to be accountable. Look at us now. Look at us now. Greatest civilization where? With all the technology, all the knowledge that we should have right now. You telling me we can figure out everything except for how to be an equitable, pleasant, collaborative society? I promise you, I'm waiting. I am waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day that y'all blame a flavor of a water enhancer on why somebody cheated, defrauded somebody, whatever. And for the love of all things holy, And some of y'all gonna get mad. I don't give a damn. Stop making light and making it cutesy for white people, especially white women, to defraud companies. That is theft. That is thievery. That is stealing. And what do I mean? You know why certain white women get upset in being called a Karen? You're right, Angry. It did make it easier to get caught cheating. But you want to know why for so long there were white women that were like, that's a slur. Don't call me a Karen, because they know what they're doing. Karens go into situations to commit fraud, to lie, to break the law. They'll lie on you to try to get you arrested. They will lie to get a discount or to get something free. That is theft. That is stealing. That is taking something that doesn't belong to you. But y'all sit there and wonder, where I'll start. Instead of calling for their arrest, instead of these establishments pressing charges. Because any other thief, it ain't cute. They put together a case to make sure the charges are federal and will stick. Y'all think that raising the minimum wage is going to raise prices? No, continuously allowing Richards and Karens to defraud these companies is what's going to price you out of your favorite places. I mean, y'all done sat here and watched so many staples of the community, especially for lower to middle income people, for sustainability, go away. But you still think it's cute. You think it's cute. You want to know what some people think is cute? Republicans balk at Pete Hegseth's brazen ploy against Dems. Extremely short-sighted. I don't know why y'all thought that he had longevity in his sight. And I'm glad some of y'all were coming across the video that I shared, and I'm glad that it resurfaced on my TikTok. For those that are not aware, you can go over to TikTok at TazJX, where I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for how long that Pete Hegseth doesn't believe in germs. And that he unprovoked admitted to not washing his hands. And I also told y'all how many times while on the clock and off the clock, he had been caught PPing outside of the fronts of hotels, in bushes, all sorts of things. I want y'all to keep in mind how many times he was caught having affairs, caught or accused of sexual assault, and not washing his hands. Defense Secretary WikiLeaks' attempt to lock Democrats out of Pentagon talks is backfiring after GOP lawmakers expressed concern to Politico. Hegseth has been keeping congressional Democrats out of classified briefings, according to reporting by Politico, which described Republicans as shocked by the brazen partisanship. Here is the thing. This is, once again, what happens when you have people trying to govern based upon flawed ideologies, political talking points, and trying to get sound bites. Because what do you mean? The federal government that is meant to work collaboratively, you're taking people out of the equation whose input you desire and require. This is why I wish we would have never moved from our original model of picking the president and vice president. I loathe the fact that we have tickets. Because at this point, I feel like if we're going to have tickets, the tickets should go from the tippy top of the federal to the bitty bottom of the most local. If y'all want to draw everything on partisan lines, yep. One vote for the whole kit and caboodle, because that's how y'all act anyway. Vote blue no matter who, vote red, we all gonna be dead. Screw that. We should have. Whoever gets the top votes is president. Whoever comes in second is the vice president. And y'all got to work together, because it forced the federal government to work together instead of this World Series of politics. Absolutely not. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? Members of Congress are not being permitted in. And Congress, Congress. We're past misunderstanding. I'm about to move the furniture on y'all. Now, I done said for a while that I have no problem with us going back to whooping each other's ass on the congressional floor, okay? Whoop that ass to get the bill passed. But how about we, the people, come whoop your ass because you're pissing us off? What do you mean y'all keep being tread on? And I'm not just talking about Democrats, because we have Democrats, independents, and Republicans up on Capitol Hill. And like I keep telling y'all, once they are elected at the federal level, they represent all of us, each every one of us, okay? Because there's no legislation just for Alaska. There's no legislation just for Connecticut. There's no legislation just for Illinois, okay? Okay, we're good. So, what you mean? Because when you're treading on any part of Congress, you're treading on all parts of Congress. So guess what? GOP, yeah, you heard me. Why are you letting it happen? See, y'all always going, well, Democrats ain't saying nothing. No, ask the Republicans why they aren't saying anything. Ask the Republicans why they are allowing themselves to be tread upon. Ask the Republicans why they're talking so big but moving so slow, so small. Huh? Y'all want some change? Play their game. Y'all always out here talking about play chess while they play checkers. No, you don't. You all out here playing tiddlywinks and not even well. Now, I'm going to bring some levity. Remember when I told y'all that the arrest warrant story was not the craziest story, okay? It's funny. Not funny, but it's funny. It's funny. Ha ha. And a little hee hee. But so earlier today, Prince Charles on one monitor. And I was trying to line up like stories as I had researched them and verified stuff in the order that I wanted to talk about them today, right? And then I get an alert. That comes across the screen. First of all, this ain't got nothing to do with the United States, okay? Please don't be eating or drinking anything. Maybe you'll think this is funny, maybe you won't, but I do, okay? Remember, Charles was on the screen in living color. King Charles' death announced live on air in huge blunder as staff member panicked and fled. He ain't dead. He's not even like on hospice. He's not even on bed rest. It's not like he was talking and gave a cough and paused and glitched for a minute. No. Somebody was, I'm sick of his shit. He dead, y'all. Oops, my bad. And I'm sorry, it took me so off guard. You ever been like in the midst of a conversation with somebody and you're trying to work, and had a conversation and you blurt something out, long die the king, and that's what happened. And that's why I love my friends. Shout out, because I derailed the conversation because it just disconnected in my brain. Because I'm like, I can see him. A radio station has been found in breach of broadcasting standards after mistakenly announcing that King Charles had died. Essex-based Radio Caroline accidentally broadcast 3 pre-recorded messages as well as 16 minutes of silence and the national anthem on the Barry Marsh show before apologizing for the error. I'm not from the UK. I don't live in the UK, okay? I know that there are certain protocols And I did, yes, I was getting to that pre-recorded. Now, I've worked for a number of organizations doing the news, okay? One of the first ones in high school that I worked for, when there was a new president, there were like preemptive, like rest in peace snippets that we talked that were recorded, but it was like a bio of them. It didn't explicitly say that they died, but it was something we could go to, because twice people forgot, like, oh, it's the president's birthday, and we played that bio, but again, didn't say that they were dead. First of all, three pre-recorded three. How bad y'all want him dead over there? Like, that man waited 11 years to get in that position, okay? He can't even enjoy it to the fullest of his, cut. He done married the whore, and she know, like, wait a minute, I'm a historic royal whore. If y'all didn't know, the queen consort comes from a long line of hookers that was hooking up with the royal family on the low, okay? But 1, 2, 3, it is 16 minutes of silence. Then the next, that's a good 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, nobody called them like, hey, Chuck walking around. Yeah, he just had tea and crumpets. Well, y'all just like wishful thinking. Like, we in the United States, we understand. Like, if somebody was to announce right now that Doof and Dump passed away, I really wouldn't question it. I would not fact check that. I'm just being honest. Like, eventually I would fact check it, but I would have a funky good time, brighter. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be over here like, because I'll be picturing Trump down below with Beelzebub going, how do you want it, daddy? And he's like, flame broiled, bitch, flame broiled. Like, but no, but one of the messages at the time even said, we have suspended our normal programs until further notice as a mark of respect following the passing of His Majesty King Charles III. How do you accidentally do this? What is the protocol? Did somebody just go, maybe if we put it into the universe, it'll just happen. Here you go. Like, on Monday, Ofcom revealed the radio station had breached 2 rules by wrongly announcing the death of the king, who is currently enjoying his summer holiday in Scotland with Queen Camilla. There's rules about this? Media regulator Ofcom said the incident breached Rule 5.1, which requires due accuracy, and Rule 5.2, which requires that significant mistakes be amended quickly. So y'all just slow walked correcting that. Y'all was just like, he out the country. Maybe he won't come back. Do y'all trust Camilla with the king? I mean, I wouldn't. I had an uncle that after like 20, 30 years, he finally married his long-standing mistress. That was his last wife. I don't even think they was married all that long. I don't know. That was his last wife. She was like, I'm not going to be First Lady Emeritus. She went and got a new church expeditiously. She still come back and celebrate some stuff with us. She don't even get dressed up no more. She rolled through in jeans and a t-shirt. I'm not saying she did anything. I'm just saying I would understand. I don't know how you catch COVID when you don't leave the house, but hey, but 16 minutes as well. That's 16 minutes on top of 3 announcements. That's what I said, about 30 minutes. 30 minutes? Do you know 30 minutes? The Rule 5.2 requires an actual death. Yeah. So the code reads news in whatever form must be reported with due accuracy and presented with due impartiality. I like that rule. Like I said, I understand. Like, would I immediately fact check? Like, if somebody was to call in right now and be like, hey, Taz, you know who kicked the bucket? No, not immediately. Let me have that little moment of joy. Because if it's fleeting and it's not the truth, let me have it. In a statement, Ofcom said, we considered this to have been a very significant inaccuracy about an issue of particular public importance. Why is nobody upset that they tried to kill off Chuck? Like, Chuck don't even seem... Okay, so the correction and apology were broadcast 30 minutes later. Was it because people were like, hey, you ain't got to go dark? He did. He won't know if you observe a moment. Said that the staff member who accidentally played the files panicked and fled the premises. Were you in on an assassination attempt? Why did you flee? Why did you? That's my biggest. Why did you flee? Like, I would have been like, oopsie doodle, I hit the wrong button. Because that's what it sounds like to me. Somebody hit the wrong button. I could be wrong, but it sounds like, you hit the wrong button, especially if it's in a traditional radio show setting. There's a lot of buttons all over the place. Okay. You can't really move things around too much. So you would like, okay. I mean, it kind of reminds me of a TV show where dude did try to frame somebody for a murder while he was on air. Like, were y'all hoping for the murder? Were you hoping that 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 didn't happen? Oops. Hold on. Okay. Now, also got another update regarding Tupac. Regarding the incident from the daycare yesterday, the updates the updates that they're putting out is the information I already gave y'all. I don't know why they are acting as if it's a new thing. Like, oh, we know the names of the victims now. We knew the names yesterday. It didn't even take much digging. Like, people were already putting up memorials with pictures and names on. Like, so that's why I don't have yet another update for y'all. Everything that people are coming out with today that's like, oh, this exclusive, we talked about yesterday. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I have an inside track. The information was there. So I'm sure the button is marked. I think so too. Poker face. Yeah, the DJ right, the staffer was like, good night, y'all. Okay, so Tupac Shakur shooter, quote, is no longer with us. Digital Underground's Money B says. Jury selection is underway in the murder trial of Dwayne Keffe D. Davis, charged in the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur. Ronald Money B. Brooks of Digital Underground, who knew Tupac before his rise to fame, joined Jesse Weber Live to... Why the hell are you going on News Nation? I forgot about that part. You did carry your raggedy behind on News Nation. Next time, just come here. Just come here. I won't ask you questions that's too hard. Okay? Okay, that's a lie. I might. It won't be intentional. But you went on News Nation to talk about Tupac. I need y'all to stop going on networks that Tupac wouldn't go on. Like, if y'all gonna claim to be his besties, then act like it. Wenches. Oh, it's always a boy wench, too. On the Jesse Weber Live to reflect on his friend's legacy, not on the Jesse Weber Live show, and share his own theory on who really pulled the trigger. I don't care. You could have told us your theory 30 years ago. It's always the boy wenches. Here's my question. This is straightforward, right? A guy stabbed his family in the monstrous act of violence. That's a crime for yesterday. Am I crazy? he went into the daycare, stabbed his wife and his daughter with 6 other kids in the house. Yes. So the streets have talked for many years, he said, adding that Keffi D's own nephew, Orlando Anderson, has long been named as the shooter, though he stressed he has no firsthand knowledge. Then why are you talking about it? He said he also believes other people and possibly other agencies played a role in Tupac's death and letting the shooter get away. First of all, I need y'all to stop. I need y'all to stop with all of these damn conspiracy theories, okay? The government is not out to get everybody, okay? First of all, you want to know the biggest amount of quote unquote government control? It comes from your imagination. You have people that are willing to lie in order to grift and be protected by society because people are like, protected. Oh gosh. Remember Elon Musk, baby mama that came out acting like she had an inside track and she was saying shit that we already knew, but it was a way for her to subsidize the child support she wasn't getting. Yeah. And then people are like, well, they would have spoken. I don't know why the government didn't take them out. Why do you think everybody has governmental influence? And if somebody is so influential that they could overthrow the United States government, don't you think they would have done it, especially if they were black? If you knew anything about Tupac Shakur, don't you think if this man had the power to shake, rattle, and roll the United States, he would not have banded together with a multitude of, if it's just governments off out of the continent of Africa to protect black people, he would have. Like, would y'all start? The CIA took him out. The CIA handles things outside the United States. The FBI handles things inside the United States. Y'all don't know the order of operations to shit, but y'all want to compile a conspiracy theory to everything. Y'all the same people that think millions of dollars in cloning technology is being used to clone rappers. And nothing changes about these rappers but their look, as if we all don't look a little different as we age. What is the point of cloning somebody and nothing changes about them? What is the benefit? And y'all always, they killed such and such to silence them. To keep them from telling what? Well, they were going to tell this, and this, because this happened on this day, with this person. So the information was common knowledge. About 11 billion people know this. So what was the point of killing that one person over there? He will rest in peace when his murderer is brought to justice. That's the whole point of the trial. Now, remember when Trump and all the sycophants said, we need the tariffs. The tariffs are doing great. We got a shop. We're going to go to the tariff shop. We'll take stuff off the tariff shop and sprinkle it around the people. You got stimulus coming from the tariff shop. The tariff shop. Trump White House says it's losing $19 billion to $26 billion a year in revenue as countries dodge tariffs. Do you want to know who's been paying the tariffs? You take a guess. Because it's only going to get worse and worse till you decide to fix your brain. I mean, let's face it, okay? We allow people, especially non-citizens with a little coin, to come over to the United States, okay? We teach them how to evade taxes. What is a tariff? A tax. So you think they're not teaching each other all the loopholes The Doof and Dump White House said in a new report on Thursday that countries are routing their exports through third countries to avoid U.S. tariffs, estimating that there are tax revenue losses of $19 billion to $26 billion annually. United States, I need y'all to stop acting as if this is the only country on the planet and everybody has the same set of rules that we do. That when we do something, no one can avoid it and no one can do it to us. I know BB from Philly likes to tell you that as he reads you your bedtime story every night and tells you you're the bestest, goodest boy and girl and person in the whole wide world. He lied. The report specifically highlights that China responded to new tariffs in 2018 by sending their goods to other nations, ranging from Mexico to Malaysia, for packaging and limited assembly, a practice known as transshipping. The pattern made it look like U.S. imports from China had dropped, but enabled Beijing to continue growing its manufacturing sector in ways that could challenge U.S. factories and employment. Also, I need y'all to realize some of y'all top brands, a lot of these companies and stores that you love to go to and shop at, did y'all learn nothing during our 24-hour timeout? Okay, when we got put on punishment by TikTok, and then when we came back, China let there be a crisscross between our side of TikTok and the Chinese side of TikTok, and they showed us like, yeah, all of this is coming from one factory. So, the billionaires and millionaires and the heads of companies that y'all still love so much, yeah, in order to be able to pay you your wage, yeah, where did y'all think most of the stuff was coming from? First of all, we don't have the resources here to build everything. Number one. Number two, we don't have a skill set to do everything here. Y'all know when y'all go to work, what part of the chain that you are linked into. But yeah. Now, I don't know if y'all know, 5 to 7 days ago, there was a statement that was put out there regarding Mitch the Glitch, okay? And it was like, yeah, he's been released from rehab. He's going home. Still nobody's heard from him or seen him. Now, I do know that there's a video going around, and this guy is claiming that he saw a home health care worker going to Mitch McConnell's house, and he's talking to her, asking her all these questions. She goes in. Then supposedly the next day she comes out, she's startled, and she runs to a waiting car. She didn't come in a car service, but she left in a car service that wasn't Uber or Lyft. She just automatically knew. Nobody asked to verify a name, no nothing. And she's a home health care worker, which means she's well-versed in HIPAA. But standing outside, she's telling the whole schedule, who she's there to take care of. I need y'all to stop falling for shit. Okay? Number one, please stop. And I need y'all to realize that there are people who are going to keep playing on stuff. Just like the young lady who we already knew lied on Inside Edition, talking about a vaccine caused her to not be able to walk upright and perfectly, but she could run and everything if it was backwards, okay? Then she came out and was like, these people that were exposing me, they caused my sister to kill herself, and blah, 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 blah. But we got this GoFundMe for my cousin because my cousin's paying for everything, even though we're going through probate for all of my sister's stuff. And my sister had this dog that she tried to kill with her other dog and herself, but we gave that dog away because even though I'm so torn up about my sister, I don't want anything of my sister's, and I'm not going to take a single day off, and I'm just going to come out here and do this. And throughout the GoFundMe, there's no picture of her sister. There's no mention of her sister's name. There's nothing. But she's still standing outside of Mitch McConnell's house. She's been standing outside the hospital this whole time, but didn't see nobody. But Scott Jennings says Senator Mitch McConnell called him again and is in an improving position. Their plan is to hopefully get him back to the Senate. Mitch McConnell can take all these phone calls, can do all these. And I don't know how you know what position I'm in by just talking to me on the phone. Not on a video call, just here. Well, y'all feeling good, girl. Conservative commentator Scott Jennings said on CNN's The Arena that Senate Republican leader emeritus Mitch McConnell called him personally and appeared to be in an improving position despite his nearly 2-month absence from public view. Scott has already been busted in a lie once. Why does he keep lying? Because y'all keep letting him. People don't fact check folks when they're in their face. There's too much of this. I'm going to let people say some crazy stuff for the sake of click, likes, and views, and I can clip farm it up. And then after they're gone, I'm going to pick apart what they said. Stop watching it. Stop watching the pick apart after the fact. And yes, that includes me too. When y'all tune into the Villain's View and we have a guest on, and we know I tend to handle the interviews, how credible would you believe that I am? That in 2 hours, I got somebody right in front of my face. If I believe that they're lying, I don't say anything. But then on Monday, I come on the Taz Effect and pick apart, oh yeah, they lied about this, but not to their face. How credible would I seem? So if you would rightfully go, I can't rock with her no more, she shot her credibility to the wind, why do you do that to legacy media? They're going to keep playing in your face as long as you let them. And I'm going to use this to segue into the topic I told y'all we were going to talk about for this second half. We're going to talk about the conversation surrounding Jules. You know, very mindful, very demure, Jules. Now, my cousin pointed out she got popular and notable, and I didn't realize this because I fell for it too. But I went and looked at it. That's a quote from The Nanny. Jewel has gotten on here and done network interviews talking about how they bought buildings. They gave us a great breakdown on how they pulled themselves out of addiction and all the things that it. But Jules has bragged about multiple $40,000 deals. This is important. About all these things that they do. What they pull in here, unprovoked, mind you. Then went to the internet, to TikTok specifically, to ask for help for dental work. Now, if the dental work is to the point where you need $40,000+ worth of work, this didn't happen overnight. This did not happen overnight. Let's think rationally, okay? I understand it can, tooth pain, mouth pain can be very unbearable. So you done had multiple deals that put the exact amount you need in your hand right there. Well, you could have walked in and was like, here you go. Okay. Because I didn't see the original video. But then there was a dentist that came on and was like, hey, I'll work with you. I'll get it done. And everything. And then recently Jules is crashing out. But there are a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, I see how y'all treating her. And I think about my situation. Stop thinking about your situation. You may be in a situation where you don't have access to $40,000. You don't have access to a couple $1,000s that you may legitimately need because of an emergency. I've been in that situation where something unexpected has happened and you don't have the money right away. Okay. So what if you pay attention to the conversation that's taking place instead of trying to argue a meme that's behind me? Because what we're talking about right now is more critical to what's going on today. Don't come in here trying to have a gotcha because you're not going to get it. Yeah, tooth pain is the worst, but it's like if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to brag to y'all like, yeah, every day I'm bringing in 5K on social media. I can't get no regular job. It's not going to do, which understandable. There have been some content creators that have admitted that they have left their regular 9 to 5 to completely dedicate themselves to making content because part-time making content is bringing in more money than their full-time job. So they might as well put it all in and invest. I don't know how many times y'all can let somebody brag to y'all and then turn around and beg from y'all because they are guilt tripping people. They're now threatening to kill themselves, that they're just so overwhelmed that they can't take it. And people are getting criticized for rightfully critiquing them. People are going, oh, you don't like her because she's a member of the trans community. Baby, if that was the case and she was being hated on because she was trans, she wouldn't have got $40,000 of pop deals. Like, I need you to think. And people are like, oh, you don't find her attractive. This has nothing to do with attractive, unattractive. You came to the internet bragging about just buying stuff to buy stuff because you can, about dropping thousands of dollars on American Girl dolls and accessories, about getting deals, brand deals, multiple of them in the dollar amount of what you needed to fix your teeth. And this isn't, oh, I just chipped my tooth today. No, this is $43,000 worth of dental work. That means you've been dealing with this pain for a while. She wasn't in a car accident. And critiquing people and going, hey, this is why people who truly need help aren't getting it. Because I don't know how many times I have to watch people go, I can't believe I fell for such and such. I gave them $100 and they didn't even get that thing done. They already had a sponsorship for it. Or, did you know that they make $200,000 every 3 months? Maya Angelou told us, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. Now, y'all say that, but you don't really get it because you're not listening to people tell you who they are. Then this is what I mean. Jules, for example, has said, I'm getting multiple deals for $40,000. I'm bringing in X amount of $1,000 per month. I'm buying this. I'm spending it on this. I'm doing this. I moved my family in. I'm doing this for my family, which everybody had a house already. Could have just bought off those houses. There was no reason to buy a new structure that also needed work and then not get an accountant, get investments, things like this. So they done told you, I done had this money 10 times over. It's not the first time that they've come and asked for money when they have money. Also, y'all keep forgetting, what do rich people always say is the first rule of business? Use somebody else's money. This is why I loathe looking at people when they tell their story of how they got these investors. They had rich friends that poured into them, where they were using their money to pay their bills and they were able to, quote unquote, take the risk of starting a business. I look at them funny because they're not like me, that if somebody doesn't buy a subscription, somebody doesn't buy a book, we don't get it over here. There's no investor in the background. Like, here's the rent, here's the mortgage money, here's the water money, here's the gas money, here's the electric money, here's none of that. You're not listening when people are telling you who they are. And you're putting yourself in these positions and you're not seeing the new money millionaires as millionaires. And it's because you feel, due to parasocial relationships, that you have a closer connection, that you can relate to them more than you can the people that for so long you just saw on TV, that may not have social media accounts that they run themselves. But what do y'all say? There's no ethical what? And y'all kill me acting shocked when the millionaires that are influencers show themselves not to be ethical. And no, I'm not saying all of them are unethical. I'm not saying that at all. But I remember when people came for Halle Bailey's head, when she said, oh, I didn't know these little cute stickers and stuff that y'all were sending me are worth money. Don't send them. I have money. And y'all felt like she was talking down to people. No, she was keeping it real. Why do you have an affinity to want to send your money to people who already have money? You're looking at millionaires ask you for money. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about how many times you've seen creators be completely put together, hair to the nine, dress to the nine, face beat, fresh haircut, shape up, line up, everything on point, on point, on point. Then all of a sudden, around holidays, music festivals, award show, all of a sudden they look disheveled, no makeup, puffy eyes. Y'all, I hate to ask you, but I need. And you're putting yourself in that position because you're remembering that time you were down and out. You may be struggling with a disability that prohibits you from working to a point where you can fully sustain yourself. You may be battling a chronic illness. You may be battling fatigue. You may be battling a big bout of depression right now that doesn't have you at full effect, where you do need assistance. You do need that mutual aid. You do need the community to rally around you, but you're putting yourself in that person's story, and without them saying a word, you're changing their story. No different than I tell y'all what y'all do with Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift, where you've created this character of who they are, and to a certain extent Beyonce as well, where people create who these people are, where they never said it, never displayed it. You're doing that with people because of parasocial relationships. But the people who really are struggling, the people who are working their asses off to earn your dollar, you criticize and nitpick. I want you to think about this. You are why you keep getting scammed. I have watched so many times over people go, oh, subscribe to me here. And I'm like that. I sat and watched their content for a little bit. And I was like, oh, let me go check out there. There's no content to subscribe for. But they'll have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, like paid subscribers. What are these people paying for? There's nothing there. And folks will justify, well, if I don't give them my $5 a month, they won't get their Dubai Godiva triple chocolate double espresso flown from Italy every morning latte. But don't give it to Sheila over there that's, willing to make me a full 5-course Sunday dinner for $25 and deliver it to me. That's too much, Sheila. That's take about 30% off of that. I might consider it. I'd be so for real. I don't understand how y'all exist in the same universe where Keith Lee and his family exist, where we got a chance to watch them not just rise, but do it honestly and earnestly. And what do I mean by honestly? Even when they didn't have it like that, they insisted whatever they were going to review. When they started off with Keith Lee reviewing things from grocery stores and cooking it up and eating it like from home, like, oh yeah, is this worth the money? Paid for it. Starting to go out to restaurants, paid for it. And then told you how opportunities came and how they were able to increase their income and how they got into the house that they have and all of these things. And honest enough to say, hey, we had to take a step and invest. We had to put these parameters in place because we want to have shelter and we have children. Honest about how do you exist in this timeline? And you turn around and look at another person who told you multiple times, oh, you got multiple $40,000 deals, brand deals coming in. And remember, brand deals are rarely one and done. Rarely one and done. But this person had multiple 40K brand deals. They told you they had the money in hand. But you want to criticize and come down on the people that are like, hold up, the math ain't mathing. Now, I want y'all to think about something. How would you feel if I would have started the show off with at some point during the course of the show, would have been like, yeah, y'all, I just bought 2 brand new refrigerators. They got this, one for upstairs, one for downstairs. Yeah. And then I end the show going, oh, I don't got nothing in the refrigerator. Would be nice to have something to eat. Who can send me something to eat? Wouldn't you go, well, girl, why didn't you just get one refrigerator if you needed to replace a refrigerator and use the money from the second refrigerator to put food in the first refrigerator? Rightfully so. But why is it that you look at certain people and you let go of all rationale? Now, some people are like, oh, because folks are afraid to criticize members of the trans community. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, you're going against her. You're questioning her because she's a member of the trans community. No. Are there people who will use that shield for her? Yes. Are there people who will use that shield for the trans community? Yes. The few people who do that generally are white people who happen to be in the trans community that are already standing on the wrong side of history. So let's put that argument to rest. I think the bigger issue here is colorism. Because there was so much put on the back and the name of Dominique Morgan when she didn't ask us for anything. People assumed that she was going to need money from people to do X, Y, and Z. She didn't ask us for anything. She even said, hey, even if I would have had to pay X, Y, and Z because I was negotiating this, that, and the other, I wasn't going to come and ask for y'all. She knows how to buckle down and work. She knows how to negotiate different things. But people wanted to question her and down her and throw dirt on her name for something she didn't even ask for something she didn't do. But we're supposed to, that paper bag test coming back. But I really need y'all to really take this in. Well, Maya Angelou said, when somebody tells you who they are, listen. But you got to listen to them tell you. Stop trying to tell somebody who they are based upon who you are. Let me repeat that. Stop trying to tell somebody who they are based upon on who you are. Or better yet, based upon who you need them to be. And let's also branch this off. Stop letting people tell you who somebody else is. What's the rule around here? Trust but verify. Now, folks, in my inner circle, I have established myself enough that if I'm like, hey, yo, Carmen ain't shit. They know, okay, Carmen ain't shit. Plus, I'm not just going to be like Carmen ain't shit. I'm coming. Okay, I am coming. Like Claire Huxtable. Okay, y'all remember them few times that we got to see Madam Huxtable in the courtroom? Because some of y'all forgot she was an attorney. And how she would come in there detailed, even when she had to check the kids or Cliff. That's how I'm coming. Like, yeah, this is why I said, and it's going to be and before my friends and family get to going, well, girl, you need to figure it out quicker. You be giving people too long chances and too much. I know I let too much time go. I get it. But I get confirmed information. And I'm going to come with it. Far too often, folks are like, oh, well, Sarah told me Donna was blah, 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 blah. When did Sarah and Donna start talking? Well, I don't know, but I know she a credible source and blah, blah, blah. That don't even sound right. That don't make no sense. How would she know what's going on in her house if she ain't never been to her house? How she know what's going on in her life if they ain't never hung out? It don't matter. I still don't like her and I ain't going to be around her. I'm going to tell everybody not to mess with her. The power of the tongue can uplift or it can steal, kill, and destroy. Some of y'all are killing other people and yourself because you won't listen to who somebody is. You won't let anybody tell you or show you who they are. But you were the quickest one to find a mountaintop, a soapbox to get on top of and go, If you want to know about me, ask me. So why don't you do that for other people? What's my number one rule? Don't ask for what you cannot give. Let me repeat that. Don't ask for what you cannot give. If you're not willing to give respect, don't ask for respect. If you don't want to take the time to get to know who somebody is, don't expect anybody to take the time to get to know who you are. One of the most recent elections showed us how detrimental it is to listen to gossip and not use those smarticle particles. Y'all sitting here getting manipulated day in and day out. Going, well, when somebody tells you who they are, you should listen. You ain't letting nobody tell you who they are. You're not letting anybody tell you who they are. You're so stuck on wanting to appear to be the biggest, baddest, boldest in the room that you're about to be the brokest, most broke down, bewildered, and befuddled in the room. I told y'all yesterday that I put up a new design on the merch site, right? Tazisms.com for those that are new here. It said history and present day are egregious enough. You don't have to lie about them. Now bring this up because I got a troll over on TikTok. DSA wants to get rid of Congress, defund the police, release prisons, and more. What do you gain from lying? And I'm saying, what do you gain specifically? Because y'all forget that these lies that you tell hurt you as well. When you lie to get people to not do the correct thing, the honorable thing, the equitable thing, you hurt too. The only person y'all were owning is yourself. You go into rooms thinking that you're intimidating someone. My face is out there. You're coming to my space to try to get my attention. You put the collar and the leash on yourself, and then you handed me the leash to walk you about. You put me in control of you to determine when you can go out, when you can't, when you can eat, when you cannot, and how happy you will be in your own skin. You didn't think about that, did you? You just saw what was behind me. You saw a Black woman and you thought that you could be the intimidating force. You thought that you were going to get a negative reaction. Sweetheart, I learned a long time ago. You only clamor to get the attention of people you want to see you. Whether it's out of desire romantically, or because you need to get their attention so you can try to peacock your way into a position of intimidation. But newsflash, if you have to clamor to get someone's attention, you can never intimidate them. Nothing you did put you on their radar. So when people ask me, how am I able to do this? How am I able to stay so calm? How am I able to deal with the trolls? Because we know, as far as GCPR is concerned, I get more trolls than anybody on the weirdest days over the strangest topics. And it's because quite a while ago, I realized that. Just like I realized when people try to eliminate me in order for themselves to be seen, that will never be a me problem. Because I realized it when I also realized this. The same people that want to eliminate you are also the ones that are complaining that they're no longer in your presence, that you are no longer coming around. Sweetheart, it's easier for you to lie if I'm not there. I'm helping you. And it's also why I and others, because I know it's a lot of y'all out there watching and listening that know what I'm saying. Y'all probably gained this wisdom far quicker than I did. Or maybe y'all got it at the same time. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for y'all. But I think we all get a little bit of a chuckle when we see those, look at me. Look at me. Baby, if they didn't see you, they didn't want to see you. And cosplaying others will never work. And that's another reason why people are getting a bit irritated with the current grifting situation that is becoming more and more obvious of a grift because they are unraveling. And I'm no addiction expert, but in keeping up with the people, it's about time for me to do an update on that. If they're willing, because that is the agreement. That we would do updates on the addiction special when and if the participants are willing to update their progress. It's also given that there might be some relapse happening. There's someone in my life that it became very clear recently that they are relapsing, and gotta let it play through. That may sound cold-hearted, but you cannot pull anybody out of addiction. CRW, what are you talking about? Look what up. Look up the conversation that's being had right now. I want attention. I can't listen and pay attention. You went and switched accounts to talk to me, hey Lisette, about a trope and a talking point. Okay. Let me guess. You want me to tell you, good boy, good boy. Let me pat you on the head. Good boy, good boy. Go sit in the corner. Have a juice box and a snack. Also, I want to also talk to you about something that I've noticed, and somebody brought up a bit of it today. It started with one gentleman, and a few news outlets are picking it up, that the Republicans are creating fake websites, fake online publications to try to manipulate people into voting for Republicans. But that's not the only thing that's going on. I have noticed this over the course of the past week. People are saying things and taking screenshots, and they're like, see, this backs it up. There is an influx of websites that are coming up, and their SEO is masterful because they're getting into the AI summaries. They're getting to the front page and the top of the Google searches where they seem credible. But when you actually go into the sites or you do a little digging on the sites, they're brand new sites. They're being populated and they're heavily propagandized. So be very careful and be on the lookout. And it's not just political talking points. They're very heavily racially based, very xenophobic, some of these. So just be mindful. Also, please stop calling virtually everybody online that doesn't have a full profile a bot. I need y'all to realize people will go and create an account just to keep talking to you. People do not respect boundaries. face to face. So I don't know why y'all think that online they're automatically going to respect boundaries. You can block somebody over and over again. And Google, when it comes to YouTube, I'm gonna need y'all to be less stalker friendly and allow people to be blocked. And I think everybody needs to adopt the Instagram way. I don't know why this isn't across the board with Meta, but once you block somebody, it's an IP block. I feel like that's fair. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And to go that far to create all these websites and these outlets to spew just lies is a whole new level of and in closing, whether you know who Sacco and Dalton are or not, whether you like their content or not, whether you agree with how they do things or not, please stop. I need y'all to stop making up scenarios because people done killed this woman off, made a fake obituary. People are making fake accounts, claiming to be family members, putting out story. This is ridiculous. Whatever is going on, y'all are making it worse. Y'all learned nothing from the young lady who took her life, live and in living color online because of bullying. Too many of y'all do not understand that bullying is not a monolith. People handle things in different ways. Dalton coming on to tell you about all the hurt and heartache that he was going through. And he was like, you know what? That ain't even the worst of it. We don't know if the worst of it is dealing with family members regarding his mother being diagnosed with cancer, because I know I learned a lot of truths about some people just when my mother got diagnosed, not even going through the journey and after she died. We don't know. And people are like, well, why isn't Sacco? Y'all did this. So many people did the same thing with Michelle and Barack Obama. Put them on the pathway to divorce because, oh, people didn't see Michelle here, Michelle there, because y'all forgot Michelle lost her mother and Michelle needed to go off to herself and get it together. And Michelle wasn't the public servant. So Michelle wasn't obligated to go to these events for former presidents. Y'all didn't give a damn about the stuff that Dr. Jill Biden wasn't showing up for. Like, I need y'all to stop. And you keep doing this specifically to situations that involve Black women. You done said this man beat her. You done said she was dead. You done said all sorts of stuff. You're making whatever the situation is worse. And why do y'all always go to the most egregious thing? And here's something y'all never considered. I don't know if it's true or not, but something y'all never considered. Dalton and Sacco have been very open, especially Sacco, about wanting to have a big family and their time frame for having another child. And y'all do realize that when a man loves a woman, if that woman is hurting, and if that woman loves a man and that man is hurting, do you realize that could be the biggest pain that the other has at that moment? Because sometimes what your spouse is going through, you can't help. You can't take the pain away. But y'all so used to being drama filled and so dysfunctional that that's what you go to. And I know you quick to, no, not me. I don't. Yes, you do, because that's what you look for, because that is what's normal. When shit hits the fan, your normal comes to the surface in what you assume, in what you project. If you believed everything about me was an act, because recently somebody thought me online was a persona. I didn't get offended. We talked about it. And being introduced to my oldest son, who's been, when I had the podcast on there, various family members, people close to me have been up and have told you. I think you now get why so many people like being around me. My lived experience, if I project anything onto you, it's going to be a laugh. It's going to be a smile. That's why Thomas always goes, you just rainbows and butterflies. Because that is my normal. Yes, I've had some downs. I've had some heartaches. I've had some hard times. I'm not saying that everything's been smooth sailing. Absolutely not. But my basis, my foundation, the first thing that was impressionable on me was functional, was healthy. So that's what I keep going back to. That's what I am constantly looking for. And y'all will hear a few videos, read a few posts from folks you ain't never seen interact with people. And then you regurgitate it like it's fact. And you can't say, oh, well, we care. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you'll say all this stuff behind the folks' back. It's not out of care and concern. Because if it was, you would be encouraging in those comment sections. You would be in the DM going, hey, how can I be there for you? No, you get together and you talk smack behind people's backs. So let's not do that. When we talk about be the change that you want, it's in every aspect of life. Every aspect. If you don't want people assuming the worst about you, don't assume the worst about other people. And also, stop looking at divorce as a negative thing. Divorce isn't forced upon people. It's not like some random person comes along and goes, well, today, y'all over there, y'all got to get divorced. No. Divorce is a pathway to happiness, a new beginning for people. Sometimes folks shouldn't be together, and that's fine. But y'all sitting there talking about you don't want a patriarchy, but y'all sure do hold on to it. Like ain't nobody worth shit unless they're paired off. Some people don't need to be. Just like some people don't need to be parents. What did we learn yesterday, people? Nathan Matthew Brown should have not been a spouse and should have not been a parent. If he was neither one of those things, multiple people would still be alive today. Use your healthy lived experience to uplift others. I hope that I do, DJ. I hope. Staying married for the wrong reasons can be toxic to the family. Yes, it can. I've told y'all before, I have encountered many people through my life whose parents did that. We're going to stay till the kids get grown. Then a week or two after graduation, they divorced. And those kids resented those parents. Some of them still resent their parents, will not talk to them. I know 4 children. Well, they're very much so adults. They're older than me, but 4 children. Both parents passed away. None of the kids, I don't know who buried these folks, because none of the kids, they didn't want no inherit. They didn't want anything because they were so miserable. And they said the stress, the anxiety that they were put through in a home where the adults were not respectful of them, the amount of therapy that they said that they went through, because that's all they knew. They thought for a long time that that's how you treat people. The people that they loved the most and wanted to be the closest to, they treated like shit. And they were like, well, why ain't you staying? Like, we supposed to at least have 20 years in this before you leave. And you make the people around you miserable. I told you, I had someone I thought, well, I was a friend to them. They were not a friend to me. And I told you, all of the want to shit talk the husband, he ain't sure I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. And then, girl, leave me out of it until you out of it. Mad because ain't nobody telling her that we saw him cheating. But when we were telling you, when we saw him out and about boldly cheating, you was mad at us, cussing us out. And I'm going to tell you this. Gossip is not a gotcha moment. Gossip does not make you better than somebody else. It makes you worse. If you are truly concerned about someone, talk to them. Talk to them, see what's going on about them, see where you can really help, how you can really help them, build community with them. Because what you don't realize is a psychological toll you're taking on people who are not your intended target to hit, to hurt. And the damage, you can accidentally take multiple people's lives from them. Because when we put people in the grave, when it's ashes to ashes, dust to dust, you can't rewind time. You can't make new memories. You can't have somebody with somebody at this important time. And that messes with people at funerals when they realize there's no do-over. There's no making up. I personally have seen people snap. I've seen people do irreparable damage to themselves. I've seen people do irreparable damage to other people. When you think that you are trying to hurt one person, the people that you love the most, that you felt that you were protecting, are the ones that will receive the most damage. They're the ones that are going to hurt the most. And that's not hyperbole. It's not. I'm going to tell you this. I knew a woman whose father wasn't shit. I mean, he wasn't shit where he would openly and brazenly flirt with her friends. Caveat, everybody was grown. Not that it makes it any better, but just. But she would lie her ass off to protect her father's image that everybody knew about. Now, her mama, sweetheart. Sweetheart. Okay? Maybe if she had 2 bites of food, you had a bite and a half. Okay? That type of person. She treated her mother like shit. Her mother finally felt so isolated that she took her own life. Upon that, said woman lost everything. Her father only stuck around because her father liked being put on a pedestal over her mother. Well, her mother wasn't there anymore. Who was he going to be put on a pedestal above? And he wasn't going to spend money or any real time with her. The mother was the one buying gifts and slapping his name on it all through adulthood because she was like, you know what? My child got a good relationship with the father. I'm going to let that go. Her daughter blamed her for her grandmother taking her life. She was mad at her mother because her mother refused to stay in an abusive relationship with her father. So she thought, you know what? I'm going to stick it to my mother by just big upping my dad all the time. Her daughter ran away to live with her father. They went to court, filed for custody. Daughter had receipts. She didn't want to be in the house with her mother. Father's side of the family didn't want to have anything to do with it because they was going to rock with their family member. Her mother's side of the family wasn't that many of them because they were a family of one and done. Pretty much everybody was an only child. And they blamed her for their family member taking her own life. Again, you're not going to hurt who you think you're going to hurt. You won't. You won't. You will get frustrated because that person you want to hurt so bad, you're going to look at them like, why are they laughing? Why are they having all this fun? Because they too know at the end of the day, they're not the ones that are going to hurt. They may hurt short term. They may, miss a graduation, miss a birthday party of somebody that they love because you drove a wedge in between there. But death happens, and death humbles us all. And at that funeral, when the truth comes out, the person you claim that you did it all for is going to hurt the most. So be mindful. Be very, very mindful. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more beneficial to just be who you are. Be cautious in who you build community with. Some people bring bricks and cement to build a foundation, while others bring soggy, empty boxes and Elmer's glue. But still be willing to do it as yourself. And as we learned today, let people show you who they are. Good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm going to share one more of my life rules with y'all. Told you I'm like Taz Gibbs. Many of you know I'm a Christian. I don't beat people over the head with it because that's me. That's my chosen lot in life. I do not live by the golden rule. I know some people are going to clutch their pearls. Hear me out. I live by the platinum rule. I treat others how they want to be treated. And I ask that I be treated how I want to be treated. And this is not some I think I'm better than people. No, I realize that I am comfortable with things a certain way that may be below the standard of other people. Why should I make somebody else lower their standard to my comfort? And in doing that, that always keeps at the forefront that as much as we all may have in common, you are your own autonomous person. And we are human. We are encapsulated in flesh. We can forget that because we yearn to be connected and unified. Sometimes we forget. And we go, well, I would do it this way, so this person will do it this way. I like it this way, and it's okay. It is okay. It is okay. And I know that I can be intense. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Don't think that because you like friends and family of mine that you have to be here with me. Don't think because you're here with me, you have to be off with friends and family of mine. there is one caveat. There's very few places, very few things that I do without my better half. So it's gonna be very uncomfortable if you don't get along with him. And that's been since before with jumpeth the broom. Um, just because I was very, very, very blessed, very fortunate um, to find someone who enjoys doing stuff in life with me, and that I truly enjoy doing stuff in life with him. Although he was less enthused by my making of the Biscoff creamer this morning. And then I realized how early in the morning it was when I started it. So, as we close out for today, do not forget. Okay, so I changed it to behind the coffee, but I did keep beyond the bean because I already made the graphic, and I didn't feel like making another one. That's the only reason why. I'm proud of the graphic. I'm proud of the graphic. It's just gonna stay. But I did add, there's 2 tiers now on Patreon. There's a $3 tier and a $5 tier. You can go to patreon.com/TazJ. You can also go to Tazism.com if you like to color. There are 3. I'm working on another one today. Digital downloadable coloring books that you can use. There's also great new designs behind there. Behind the Bean was perfect. I may change it back to Behind the Bean Inferno. I need to have a conversation with one other person because I think it kind of came in as we were talking about it, and some things got crisscrossed between the ATM, the Behind the Bean. I think they got the wrong idea of what it was, and a couple other people got the wrong idea of what it was. So maybe later on tonight I will change it back. Also, do not forget Linktree /Cincitaz, Cincitaz, for all things Taz, whether you want to join the open discussions on race, the Black History class, get the book. There are a plethora of free resources if you want to get in the know regarding Black history. I have officially started the history of cults in the United States over on Substack. The first offering is just definitions, timelines, so you can get all acclimated into what we're talking about. Because anytime I do a series, it gets tedious to keep linking definitions back to certain things. So this time going around, you will have a whole sheet with definitions, terms, breakdowns, because there's different categories and types of cults. We're going to be in this series for a while. Hold on. What was? Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, didn't know they were in that age range. Before we finish up some housekeeping, whew, my condolences to the family. Christy Knowings, all that child star on Nickelodeon, has died at the age of 46. Christy Knowings, best known for her work as a child actor on the Nickelodeon show All That, has reportedly died. She was 46. Christy was a multi-talented lady. Her manager, Al Hill, said on Thursday, August 13th, statement to Variety, whether it was singing, acting, dancing, she was always creating, always professional and dedicated to her work. A relative of Knowings told TMZ that the actress was hospitalized following an asthma attack on Friday, August 7th, and put on life support. The family member told the outlet that she died Tuesday, August 11th. The New York City-born actress played various roles, including opposite Amanda Bynes in the recurring Whatever segment, and a newscaster, Brenda Stone, in Channel 6.5 News, in her 3 seasons on the children's sketch comedy show All That. Knowings was on the program from 1997 to 2000, according to her IMDb page. She also appeared in 3 episodes of Sesame Street between 2008 and 2011, acting alongside her twin brother, Chris Knowings. Former Nickelodeon co star Keenan Thompson paid tribute to Knowings in an Instagram post acknowledging that her death hit hard. Rest well, Christy. Never could have imagined this day, sending so much love to her family, he wrote in the caption of a photo of Knowings. She was a real one and one of the funniest people out here. Go miss you, buddy. Show at Christy Knowings some love, y'all. All that alumna Alyssa Rees commented, may she rest in peace. Heart is so sad. Let's see. Whoops. This is never easy to say that. Also, with that, do not forget we have the 6 million for 6, the fundraiser to fund the Villains Guild Outcast Nation Benevolence Fund. Please find a member of the Outcast Nation or Villains Guild and decide to sponsor their steps. We have been walking since July 4th and we will conclude November 4th. We are trying to accumulate 6 million steps to represent the Obsidian Six, the 6 founding members of the Villains Guild. Once again, you can find a member of the Villains Guild and choose to sponsor their steps, or you can do a monthly contribution, weekly contribution, or one-time contribution. You can reach out to myself or Smoking Hot Mess Jess for that. Also, if you have a small business or you would like to see your place of employment or hear them advertised on GCPR Radio, please go to gcpr.live, click advertise with us, and we will get your ad on the radio airwaves tonight. This evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central is Superplex Party with the illustrious Angry IT Nerd, my 2020 twin, and the brutalist himself, Thomas the Villain Bishop, as they discuss all things wrestling, to be immediately followed by conversations with T. Nathan, where you will be educated throughout the night, especially you late night birds that either are up due to insomnia or you're working the night shift. Do not forget to join us once again tomorrow on Sound of Coffee for Flag on the Play Friday. Now, if you do have submissions that you really, really, really want to get submitted, just DM me through the Discord and I will try to get them through. Other than that, be ready to be in the Flag on the Play portion of the Sound of Coffee Discord in the morning to get your submissions going live and in living color, one at a time from there. All right. All right. Ouch. Da, da, da. Oh, also, I will be hold on. Keep forgetting. In the Tazism Discord, in the Travel Through History with Taz section, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, if you have purchased the anti-racism journaling book, you can put them in there. We will figure out a date and a time for anybody who wants to sit down and chit chat with your girl. We will do that. If you like the show, please come back tomorrow and bring a friend with you. Keep in mind, tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, here on the Taz Effect is Fun News Friday. We will have our illustrious General Gambit here for Indiana. Is it Indiana or is it Florida? The primary custodial minion more than likely will be joining us again. Yay me. And of course, my 2020 twin, the Angry IT Nerd, will be here also as we go through Taz Roulette. All right. So, as always, glad that you were here. Each one teach one, each one reach one. I will see you all today at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, so we can close out E. Jean Carroll's Not My Type. Also, put in the story time portion of the Tazism's Discord your because we got to vote on our next book for the Learning Through Literature series. So submit yours for voting tonight. Y'all be good. Or as my twin says, at least be good at it. Till next time, y'all. Now, bye.
Turn the dial up, let the static fade away. We're building up the future, tracking every single day. Start the morning right, let the rhythm start to breathe. With the sound of coffee pouring, giving just what you need. From the sunrise spark to the late night glow, there's a space for your story and a steady undertow. When the sun goes down and the shadows start to lean, we close it all out with conversations with Jonathan. This is GCPR Radio, loud and clear, where every single voice matters, far and near. Yeah, we lock it in, connect the track, GCPR. Got your back, download the app on your phone today. iOS or Android, we're a click away. And the weekend hits, yeah, the energy shifts. Sundays bring the heat with a couple of gifts. The Kennedy effect gives us the hard-hitting news, breaking down the facts, clearing out the blues. Then Wayne Green Gambler step right into the zone, rule from the position on the microphone, telling you what to watch, what's a hit, what's a miss. Then it's the villain's view for their random commentary bliss. This is GCPR Radio, loud and clear, where every single voice matters.